Right now, the Moon Boys are in absolute shambles, begging their mommies for more money to buy the dip. But the real reason for this teensy-weensy dump will absolutely shock you. I'm literally shaking and sweating right now as Bitcoin has retraced to levels we haven't seen in like 5 days. This is absolutely ginormous. But the reason for this current Bitcoin price action is absolutely ginormous. So we're going to be taking a look at that and as well where we can expect this baby dump to end. So if you love getting pumped on, dumped on, and everything in between, hit that like, hit that subscribe. And let's absolutely jump in to this. One of the first things I want to look at is this. More than this actually now, 22 million in Bitcoin long liquidations in just an hour we saw this here. Comparable to the move yesterday post-market open where it pumped massively to the upside, and now we've gotten a similar move to the downside. Will this continue or will shorts take a turn on the liquidation merry-go-round? Provided by On-Chain College here. Julio Moreno on Twitter, Bitcoin performance on halving years is up and to the right, but what a lot of people don't know is that most of the return actually comes the second half of the year. And Q1 is basically a lot of sideways, realistically. A lot of sideways is something we can anticipate. As we have literally just a couple more months until the halving, we shouldn't expect the mega gainers for another, in my opinion, 4 to 8 months before we actually really start seeing the big gainers. And we also had Gary on TV today saying that Bitcoin is highly speculative and a volatile asset that is used for illicit activity. Him and Lizzie Warren have kind of a little thing going. I don't know if it's romantic or not, but it's honestly a beautiful love story. And they're quite in cahoots, you could say. They're very much entangled, potentially in more than one way. And that's what makes this very, very dramatic, but also pretty beautiful to watch. James Van Straten showing Bitcoin in the long term, ETFs will have a massive net positive. Now, a lot of people are asking, why are we not seeing Bitcoin pump massively just because we got these ETFs? And myself and like most people were saying that was unlikely to happen, that the ETFs weren't going to get to launch and all of a sudden Bitcoin is, $30,000 higher than it is now. It's always been a long-term thing, but for some reason myself, and I've seen so many comments of people asking like, I thought the ETF was going to pump Bitcoin to the moon. It's like within 24 hours? Because I don't think anyone said that. I mean, maybe some people said it would pump massively in a day or two, but like, guys, this is a long-term thing. ETFs, short-term, as James says here, are clearly here to arbitrage Bitcoin based on over-the-counter backdoor deals. Cash creates have been set up. ETF prospectus are intentionally vague. No way this is better or safe. He's saying it's not gold. They will get found out sooner rather than later. This is actually very interesting. I just thought I'd share this. It's a Glizzard. It's a glizzy in a blizzard. Look at this. Can you believe this? Looks pretty gross. But we also had Jim Cramer coming out and saying major top is in. Now, we've seen Bitcoin actually go down a little bit since then. But for me, this is one of those signals to where like, oh, wow, are we actually going to get like a mega pump in the next couple of days because Jim said this? He's not always wrong immediately, but usually just give it a couple days. And, people will be quote tweeting this in a couple days saying, basically, oh, Jim called the top and now we're higher than that top. Crypto Kaleo also highlights that a few more red candles in the bull market is over. That a lot of people are saying, right? But we have 3 months until the halving, very obvious. But it's so obvious that I just thought I would share this tweet. Guys, we haven't even started like the actual bull market yet. If you look at any historical chart as well, the real raging gainers don't come until sometimes months after the halving. And we still have 3 months until the halving. So relax a little bit. Mod on Twitter, CT doesn't understand that even 2 million a day in inflows is good for one ETF, but we saw over 700 million and 2.5 billion in volume, excluding GBTC. This is very big. Volume does attract inflows, so give it time. The fact that people are so desperately trying to say, oh, the ETF is a giant failure, we're going back to zero within a day after the ETF, it shows how desperate bears are to try to be proved right. Because they've been given, let's be honest, let's be clear as well. The bears have won 0 times in the past 12 plus months. They got dumped on, or they got pumped on all of 2023. They were wrong. Every single major move got us further and further from that 10K dream target that will never happen. They are just grasping at straws. And what's crazy is they're still getting crazy engagement, which tells me there are so many closeted bears that actually do think that we are going to get dumped on massively, and this is all a giant bull trap. So many people are still bearish. They're closeted. They're not really talking about it. Although you can see when we get even a $1,000, $2,000 drop, they come out of their closets like crazy. There are so many closeted bears. So many. You might be looking around saying, oh, everyone's bullish. That is not true at all. I spend way too much time engaged and focused in on this space. I read thousands of comments per day, many of them my own. Guys, not everyone is bullish. I'll tell you that much. The majority of people are somehow still bearish. It's surprising to me because at this point you would think most people are still bullish, but for some reason, a lot of people are very bearish on this. It makes very little sense to me also considering how close we are to the halving. Wolf of Wall Street's saying, is this a dump of results, or is this dump a result of people selling the news on the ETF approval? He says no, it's a result of people finally having the opportunity to sell their GBTC, which is very possible. We've seen that. A lot of this volume is actually people getting out of GBTC. Larry Fink was on CNBC, I believe, this morning, basically just saying a lot of positive things about Bitcoin. He's very bullish on it. He's the CEO of BlackRock, largest asset manager on the planet. So if we look currently so far, we've had a little bounce. Actually, if we take a measured move just out of this like month-long symmetrical triangle, we actually got a full breakout. We literally got a full breakout. And now we're just, retracing. So basically this pattern worked perfectly. But after this pattern ends, now we're in a different place. If we look on the daily chart, we're right now below the 21-day moving average. This will be big if we get a daily close below this. So that's something absolutely to be watching. Watch big time. As I've been saying for a long time, I think that if we tap 37 or 38,000 US dollars, to me, that is a big buying opportunity. And I'm going to be entering fresh new long positions on Bitcoin and multiple altcoins if we see a drop down to this level. That's really what I'm looking at. 37 to 38, I've been saying for a while, it would be a fantastic opportunity in my opinion. A lot of people would be very scared and bearish there. I mean, for pizza's sake, look where we're at right now, and people are scared and bearish. Look at this. This is why people don't make money in crypto, is because their emotions control them. If you look at this chart and you think this is bearish, you literally should be on medication. Go to the doctor. Like, try to figure yourself out a little bit, man. Come on. You're kidding me? Come on. This is bearish? Is the sun an ice cube? Is vanilla ice cream actually chocolate ice cream? Okay, let's try to stay in reality a little bit. A chart that does this is not bearish. Okay? I could ask a little baby right now if this was bearish, and he'd say, no, are you kidding me? I'm a little baby, and even I know that, right? That's what he would say. But yeah, I mean, actually, if we look on Bitcoin's daily chart as well, we haven't even gone below this support, which is right around 42.7. We haven't breached that. I've been watching. I think we absolutely could, but I mean, for this to even become, I don't even consider this a dump yet. Okay, we're literally at the price we were a couple days ago. I personally think that this absolutely could be the beginning of a bigger dump, but we need to breach those levels that I just mentioned for it to be even considered a dump, in my opinion. And sign up with Femex below if you're interested in trading, getting altcoins, getting Bitcoin. Without any further ado.